Born Before 64 is a TV show that asks the vital question, what will we do for the rest of our lives? Kathryn Raaker hosts a show for baby boomers and above, inviting real people to tell real stories about overcoming issues, about facing with courage and triumph the significant obstacles many of us face every day. So let's join Kathryn Raaker for Born Before 64.
Hi, I'm Kathryn Raaker of Born Before 64, and tonight's show is growing health issues that face men and women in the 40s, 50s, and 60s and beyond, and we're going to address those issues in sexual health and ongoing healthy lifestyle. Tonight we have with us Dr. Raymond, who is a healthcare advocate, speaker, and retired obstetrician who has delivered over 6,000 babies and works in sexual and dysfunctional health and wellness and anti-aging. We also have with us tonight, all the way from California, Neil Evans, Marketing and Operations Manager of Apteka Naturel, and Ed Grimblatt, Manager of Sourcing and Manufacturing of Apteka Naturel. And I want to welcome you all, gentlemen, to our show tonight because this subject is probably one of the most exciting subjects for the Born Before 64 generation and above. I'd like to start with Dr. Raymond first. Would you tell us a little bit about your background, briefly?
Well, my background is basically after medical school and residency, I entered practice, and approximately 30 years as a gynecologic surgeon and obstetrician, and it was my privilege to serve women in that capacity. During that time, I did a lot of teaching at the university level, and at this time, still teach for Ohio University as a master clinical faculty level at the level.
And you've been on our show many times, both our radio and television shows. And he's probably one of the top physicians in my mind. And I love having him on the show.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Neil, this is your second time on our show.
Oh, flattered to be here.
And talk to me a little bit about why you and Ed, and we'll talk to Ed, tell me a little bit about your background, and then Ed. Go ahead.
Well, I've had quite a number of years in direct marketing operations, and I was asked to help start up Apteka Naturel, and I was able to utilize that background in operations and marketing to do so. And I worked for a couple of large companies that you would know over those years. So my value to the company is to be able to help market it and make sure that the operations run very smoothly.
Right. Now, let's ask Ed a little bit about his background, because you're originally from Lithuania, am I correct?
No.
No.
Little wrong. Close.
Close. Okay.
I'm from Soviet Union. I mean, when I was born, it was the Soviet Union. Okay. Actually, now it's a separate country. It's Ukraine, the place where I was born. Okay. I graduated from Odessa Technology Institute with a master's degree in food technology. Right. I came to this country over 30 years ago, and since that I've been working in nutritional supplement industry. Right. Started with manufacturing, with marketing company. I was involved in sourcing, global sourcing of different raw material, finished product, work with scientists around the globe with developing new product. But mostly my expertise in sourcing and manufacturing of nutritional supplements.
Well, just a couple of days ago, gentlemen, and I was watching television, it was one of the mainstream television networks, just said that even just for pain, that people are changing their minds about the way they're going, especially with not dealing with a lot of pharmaceuticals, because most Americans today are over-medicated. They're getting unnecessary operations, and they're not doing the things that we really all know are really don't need to be done sometimes. Now, one of the subjects that we want to talk about, and I'm going to address tonight, are what are some, and I want you to all think about this because it's more like a panel tonight than anything else. What are some of the health issues affecting both men and women as they grow older? And we're not like our parents. We're much healthier and more vibrant, active, and want to live longer, healthier lives, add more years to your lives. And today we're discussing the boomer generation and the challenges that they have on health care cost, not being covered, and as we grow older, we want a healthier lifestyle without prescription drugs. I'm going to address Dr. Raymond first, if you don't mind. And what are some of those common health problems that are affecting both men and women?
I love your comment about adding more years to your life, and also the sequel to that as well is adding more life to those years. And I think that this generation, that's what's happening. I was recalling the other day about, when I was just a boy, viewing women with big clunky shoes and long house dresses and aprons, and how that's changed to a set of golf clubs and out on the tennis court and just jogging and just being maybe in the workforce even longer. It's really a wonderful change. The things that are bothering us, however, as we get older, are those things which are naturally a part of aging. They may have been potentiated by very difficult lifestyles before, but now as we know more about nutrition, we know more about organic nutrition. We're organic, it's organic, it fits really well. When we've learned so much more about how to stay healthy, and we want to stay healthy, there's that desire, that so many of the chronic disease processes we now can address, and address them not just by surgery or just by, say, pharmaceuticals, although they're important when we need them, but also by natural, taking nature and bringing it to your kitchen table for your own health. So no matter what the chronic diseases are out there, we're addressing them in many different ways. And it's very integrative. You mentioned about, well, there are institutions like the Cleveland Clinic. I went to an integrative study, a conference at the University of Miami, down in Miami. It was phenomenal, just on pain and just on nutrition. How nutrition can actually address pain in a very normal, natural way, whether you're talking about your GI tract, you're talking about your brain, your heart, your lungs, your vasculature, your 60,000 miles of vasculature. So it's a wonderful it's a renaissance in medicine. This consciousness of what is natural really does apply to us and can save our lives, definitely in a preventative way.
Right, and Ed, I think, it's really important to take, you've been sourcing for many years natural products and natural things that people can bring into their body. And the one thing that I want to talk to all of you about is some of the things that women are facing right now, especially with menopause or premenopause. What is menopause, doctor? And then, Ed, I'd like you to address what you have come up with in the region of women, especially in the menopause years. Doctor, yeah. What is menopause?
Well, menopause is it's a very natural process, marked by with women not having a menstrual period after 1 year. The ovaries get quiet, and they finally become, well, we'll say dysfunctional, if I may use that medical term in that sense. And there are many, many changes that go on during that time. Estrogen and other hormones start to decrease. Testosterone in some women increase a little bit. Those two work together. And it's a time, we used to say it was a change in life, and it really is. It has some negative implications. There are some people that get very moody, hair loss, other hormonal functions start to wax and wane, like thyroid, hypothyroidism, and things of that sort. But on the other side of that coin, it's a time when a lot of women find more freedom. There is an exhilaration with some women. 25% of women never go through the downside. They never experience the downside, just the physiologic side of not having menses anymore and their ovaries shutting down. But 75% will experience some downside. Many will experience an upside. Maybe it's because there's no pregnancy anymore. The children are up, they're out of the nest, there's time for me and you again, and that sort of thing, almost like a second life.
Now, Ed, we're going to start with you and then we're going to take a break. But I want to ask you, do you have a product out there that you sourced and where, okay, to use with, especially with hormone therapy?
Mm-hmm.
You have a product out there that I've tried and I love. Tell me a little bit about it.
Apteka Naturel just introduced practically last week this new product.
Right.
We were working for a long time searching for this product. We knew how important it is for this generation, over 45 and 50 and so on. And I came across a few products, but all of them based on just couple of very traditional herbs. But just a few months ago we came across completely new approach to this problem, and this new product was developed by Israeli scientists, company like Red, who worked 17 years on this special composition. Composition based on the 3 ingredients actually. All 3 natural ingredients. One of them is lycopene. It's a special grade of extract from tomato, which was produced with special patented technology for many years. This product, in combination with another very strong and very purified product, genistein, was combined with third product, vitamin D3, and 17 years of very intensive clinical study and special technology, microencapsulation, let him develop this combination, which happened to be very effective. It's supported by science, supported by three major patents in Israel and United States. And like I said, hundreds of women for 17 years prove that product is effective.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back and talk to Neil for a few minutes about how you're marketing that. We'll be right back on Born Before 64.